Good morning, guys. Really nice day. Probably about 10 o'clock in the morning. I've just had a nice long chat with my brother from America. We have a kind of like an update every week if we can, but sometimes it doesn't work out. But this was due, probably about 2 weeks since we spoke last. And of course we have the time zone difference, so it's like 15 hours behind the Philippines. So my today is like his evening yesterday. So it's the 18th for him, it's 19th for me here. Anyway, it's always nice to have a chat with somebody that you have shared experiences, And this communication I'm having here with you now today, it's to express that I think everyone really needs to have someone that you can rely on in terms of support, communication, shared resources or shared interests, and shared, in some ways if you can, personality and characteristics, because it's super important, you know what I mean? It's like you can travel all over the world. I've done so much of it, and what I'm finding is that the conversations you have with people abroad when you're traveling, they are what I would consider as a transient conversation. There's never really a great deal of depth to it. And though people might try to create a culture that comes from traveling, and they say that it allows you to spend time and learn new things and integrate and understand the society, the culture, the environment you're in, it is true. But when it comes down to actually finding true friends, I think it's a rare thing to find it when you're traveling, especially as long as I have. I've been traveling for on and off, wow, maybe nearly 18, 19 years now. Since 2005, I've been traveling first to Hong Kong, then China, then Australia, then the Pan-Asia area, went down to Singapore, or up to Singapore rather, Malaysia, then Korea, then of course down to Eastern Europe like Ukraine, and then America 2 years ago in fact. And it doesn't matter where you go, there is an intrinsic need to find people or to connect with certain individuals or groups that you can create a lot more than just a passing friendship or passing interim kind of like exchange dialogue. And for me, my brother is this, because we have so much in common from going back way back. Me coming from South America, I was 10. He was born in the UK with my sisters, and we kind of spent the minimum time then. Even then, we didn't spend a great deal of time because he went to school, I went to school, and between the age of like 10 and 15, we were doing our own stuff. Though in the weekends we might go riding a bike or stuff like that. And then I joined the forces when I was 17. Was always away most of the time, came back from time to time, but it was never like what we call concentrated time with my brother and sisters. So for me, there's always that kind of like gap in relationship, certainly with brothers, sisters, and your kin. So it's nice when I'm abroad to just get a foundation, just be able to call my brother up, no precursors, no set rules, no what should I say, how should I say, not to upset or cause irritation or exacerbate something. We can just talk about anything, current news, current affairs, our past, or moments of great fun, the humor within our family, all the things that you can look back in retrospect and at the time might have seemed tough and difficult and not something you really want to be laughing about, but now we can look back at it and say, you know what, we can understand how it was, why it was, where, when, and how. You understand all these things. You can put everything in perspective in a much better way, because supposedly we're more mature. We experience things that our families, mother and father would have done, and we can actually relay that. We can align ourselves with some of those similar problems. So we have a laugh about everything, like even music, reggae music, ska music. We'll talk about going to our aunts and meeting our cousins, seeing how they were with their aunts and their uncles and so. And what we would do, they'd have parties, and the children would be sitting on the side, playing our own stuff, maybe up in the room, messing around. But we'd come downstairs and watch the adults kind of like sitting there playing dominoes, kind of Caribbean style stuff, playing dominoes, cooking up some what we call like local foods of our culture, which is like roti and chicken curry and goat curry, and we call it like risotto, but it's like a mixed fried rice. We have things like certain different drinks that's not even here in the UK, but they have to import it in, and things like sweets that we remember as children that we would eat, and we could only get them when we went to our aunt's parties, because she would have, got it imported, or one of our aunts would bring it back from our country, and we would share it and enjoy it. It was just really beautiful times. This is kind of what it is, nostalgia. But what I'm going back to here is that nostalgia brings a great deal of empathy. Empathy with someone that you share a common existence, past, current, and future goals. And this is where me and my brother are. We're about like 4 years difference between us. I'm the eldest. And though he's in America and I'm here in the Philippines, we can just shoot the breeze and we can talk about anything, and it doesn't matter what it is. We can find the humor in something. He has a very dry sense of humor. I have a much more, I suppose you can say, I'm more flamboyant in many ways. But he keeps me grounded, and I keep him on the edge of kind of like what can be. So we are very different in that way, in that respect. But we have one singularity, which is we understand what needs to be done, people around us, our experiences, and how to apply it in today's life, and how not to be taken in, or how not to find ourselves repeating the same problems or things in our earlier lives. So it was fabulous. I mean, I must have spoke to him for like 3 hours today, and of course it was my mother's birthday. She's like 86 now, so she was milling around in the back of his in the house in the US, and I was talking to him, and I said, "So it's Mom's birthday today?" He said, "Yeah, of course." So of course she came in and started talking to me on the phone, and we had another laugh. Again, my mom has for the hard time she's been through, bringing up 4 children with a screwed up husband, right? She really dug deep, and she kept us all as best she can, as a single mother looking after 4 kids, different age, 2 boys, 2 girls, with the omittance of a solid father around. He was always around. I'd have to fight or beat her or something. So when we talk, I talk to her. We can talk about anything, from sex to rock and roll, or current affairs and getting old, and what stupid things we did and what she did. And it's revealing when you can have this open conversation with your mom as well as your brother, and you don't feel there's any borders, there's no demarcation line, there's no sensibility other than just saying how we feel and what we believe, what we think, and how it all relates with all of us, going through different periods of time but similar experiences. And we probably talked for like 3 hours. I spoke to her, I wished her birthday, she done some massage. She's what she do, she's going to like seniors like Tai Chi and stuff like that, and aerobics, and she's keeping herself busy. He's a male senior nurse. He's a dialysis nurse, so he's constantly checking her, making sure she's okay. If she's got any back pains, he'll do a massage. He really looks after her very well, something I don't think I could do. But that's his area of work, his expertise, as mine was IT. So again, we would have a little bit of a rally about that. Could he do my job? He said no way. He couldn't do IT, messing with computers like in the banks in London. I was doing Unix administration, Unix repairs, and dealing with idiots on the trade floor, that got angry and stupid. And I'd say, look, I couldn't be doing what you're doing, like looking after people, taking their shit, plugging things into their arms, watching the dialysis machine clean their blood, and dealing with that hospital scene, it just didn't work for me. And yeah, we agreed that we could. He believes we can do each other's job one way or another. Maybe not at the best, but we would have survived because we are survivors. Whatever happens, whatever we've been through in the past, and there's been shitloads difficulties, we managed to get through, and we still stand tall. We still believe in ourselves, and from every experience we've had, we've not excelled, but we've retained, we've imbued the irregularities and the difficulties of that, and we know when that rises again, when that comes to the forefront, we know to stay well away from it, to analyze it, and then act. We don't step into stupid things as much as we might have done when we were younger, obviously. But I've served in the Royal Navy back in UK. He went to America, and he was in the military as well over there as a medic. So yeah, it's effectively just having time to spend time thousands of miles away, to sit down and talk to your brother like you were sitting in front of you, like he was here, and you can talk about something, and whatever it is that the conversation was, whatever the topic, we always find ways to learn from each other, to bounce ideas and opinions and global issues, and what else you could say, like the red pill manosphere stuff and the blue pills and what men do now, and all these other stupid podcasters, how they swap from one thing to another because it suits their purpose, because it either raises their platforms, or even that they just swap hats, political hats, because it suits their agenda, But yeah, it's fabulous to actually have discussions and a dialogue, and we never seem to run out of something to talk about. We can talk about anything, and the topic just goes, and we can flip from one thing to another, and still be aligned with each other's thoughts, But I wish my mum birthday. She's now chilling out at home. He's bought her like a senior's treadmill, so she's got that in the front room. He's got her a senior's chair so she can help with her back and stuff. And she's got TV, she's got Netflix, she's got all the stuff like what's the other ones they've got in America? All the TV shows. So she's got full access to that, Amazon Prime and all that. But I think when you get to that age, all you want to do is chill out. You don't want to do much else. So we're both getting older. We understand that we've got to assimilate, and we've got to find a common goal in terms of lifestyle we want, and we're going to do that. We have plans to live together at some point in time if we don't pass away before that, and have shared interests. I want to do my Tai Chi. He wants to take on he wants to do the Kali, which is like the Filipinos Kung Fu. So there's things like that we're going to do. He's into reading a lot and music. I'm into music. We share a lot of 70s, 80s, 90s. We're quite eclectic, so we have a range of different music, from classical through to some opera, jazz, funk, R&B, rock, raga, ska, all that stuff, and even pop. So we're going to enjoy a time when we get together, and we actually find the right time to get ourselves, not the right time, but obviously my mom's too old for him to walk away and leave her. So we hope she lives long, but if she doesn't, then I guess I'll have to travel to USA more after all this shit's done with Trump and everything evens out itself and gets clear. I'll do that. But he'll come to the Philippines, spend some time here, and hopefully get some of the other families to travel and visit. But it's great to be able to, every time I speak with him or with my mom, I find like after that communication, after that time spent talking, I'm reinvigorated. I am fresh again. I've kind of released whatever tensions I may have had here, or whatever daily kind of routine you have here. In every way you go, there's a routine. No matter what you say, a routine develops after a couple of days, after a week or so. You build a routine because that's what makes you work. So, it's a case of now just chilling out for the rest of the day here. I'm doing a walk. I'm sitting here in a nice little stream, open area with small shops. So I'll sit here, and there's a Kit Kat bar. As you can see, it's a chair, but it's designed like Kit Kat bars. And I'm just going to chill out for a while and see how it goes. Maybe do some more walking later on. But I have to say, being here in the Philippines, even when it's a windy day, rainy, whatever it is, it's always still pleasant. And when I compare that to the UK, like now it's freezing, it's cold, it's grey. Look at that sky, it's blue. You got trees flourishing in green. In the UK, everything's grey, dark, cold. You have the central heating on all the time. The bills are going up. You've got people, living in bad situations here as well as there. But when you've got the weather, it makes you feel better. There's a much more positive vibe in the air. It actually bolsters your what's it called? Your sense of feeling good. Your health. Your whole mindset and attitude, I think, actually gets bolstered, gets alleviated. And as long as you can manage your budget, you can stay on top of things and not go stupid. This is a place, being in the islands, anywhere in Asia, would be nice to come spend some time. And I can't say that I regret it. There's always troubles, one way or another, there's always a problem. Whether I was back in the UK, there'd be problems there. Here, there are problems. But you just have to adapt. And luckily for me, that my whole character is about adapting. And I've done that in China and all these other places. So adapting, don't constantly complain, see things for what it is, learn from mistakes, and also improve yourself at all times. It doesn't matter what level of improvement, improve yourself, because that's where you are in control. The minute you let things around you and the environment suppress you, you're losing the battle and it's time to go home. So far, I'm good. I've been here nearly 3 years, and I'm renew my visa in probably the beginning of next month, February. Hopefully have another 6 months, and then again I will look at long distance, how I work things out. And I got a few things to sort out with my my Navy documentation. See if I can get some documents done here while I'm in the Philippines. And we're looking into obviously more healthcare stuff too. But guys, thanks for listening to me ramble on. It's been long and extensive than I want to, but today is just giving me reason to think, some nostalgia, some reality, but fundamentally keeping my frame and recognizing that this is not a bad situation to be in. It's a very good situation actually. I can always be in a lot worse places, experiencing worse scenarios, and I'm glad I'm here. Have a great 2026 and the best to you guys.